We don't normally think about foundational work as returning a value on investment. It's an unusual way to look at it, but it's really important to make in terms of the numbers that you bring out.
Yeah, well, I think it's important to say, first of all, about Warren, the most important thing Bill and I have learned from Warren are life lessons, even separate from money or, the return on investment, is these life lessons that how you live your life is really important. And Warren has a set of values that he's very true to and lives to. He loves to laugh and make everybody feel good. And so we feel like as long as we've known him, we've been lucky because we learn by his example. And then this tremendous gift that he gave to the foundation that, we weren't expecting to receive. He wasn't expecting to give, right? His money was going to go through the foundation that has his wife's name on it, and she unfortunately passed away. And so when this gift came, we were so stunned by it. And I think one of the things that we realize is you feel a responsibility to give your own wealth thoughtfully, but boy, if it's somebody else's wealth, you really better do it in a very careful and thoughtful way. And so we do think about what's the return on that, and how many lives have been saved? Have we done it in the best possible way, the most efficient way, used the best partners, found the best partners? And I think Warren's really inspired us in that way. And the other thing I'll say, though, is he does say, I don't want you to be risk-free. Like, I want you to swing for the fences. You're taking on society's hardest problems that are left behind. So take risks, swing for the fences. And so, we've had some failures along the way, and Warren's been okay with that because he knows we're trying to move very difficult problems forward.
When we talk about swinging for the fences and lives saved, you use the number of 122 million of children's lives that have been saved. When the scale of that kind of gift came in, how much did you plan out? How much did it change the way you thought about the scale and the impact of what you could do?
Yeah, it had a substantial effect on the scale and what we could do. But the way we thought about it when the gift came in is we were already working in global health. We felt like we had gained some knowledge, understanding of the field, much, much more to go. Believe me, we're a learning organization. We have so much to learn, and I hope we're learning throughout our lifetime. But we had already gotten going on things like vaccines, malaria drugs, working in tuberculosis. But when Warren's gift came in, we had another series of projects, these learning grants we were doing, because we were already saying to ourselves, it's phenomenal. People have to start with a healthy life, but it's not enough. Like, you've got to make sure they have that healthy start in life, good basic health, but then they've got to be able to lift themselves out of poverty, right? So we'd started a series of grants in things like agriculture, because we know that's what's lifted many, many countries out of poverty is first agriculture. And so we were able to take Warren's gift in and then scale some of those anti-poverty programs up, like agriculture, substantially and much more quickly than we probably would have otherwise.
I want to talk about the central theme of the letter this year, which is really about optimism. And there's a line right at the end that says, the future will surprise the pessimists. When you look at what you're doing and you look at the world that we're in now, some of the challenges that we face, some of the political challenges that we face, what gives you cause for that kind of optimism? It runs throughout in terms of the work you're doing and where you see a better future and a better global future, perhaps most importantly.
Well, you have to turn to the facts about what's happening. Despite the things that people read in the headlines about all the negative news, and there is negative news every day, but the world is getting better. Poverty's been cut in half in 25 years. We talk about the fact that 122 million children are alive because of this vaccine work that's happened, and malaria bed nets getting out there. So it's both the facts, but then I've been lucky enough. I travel the developing world 3 times a year, and I'm not just doing the government meetings. I'm out in remote, rural, dusty villages. I'm out in slums all the time. And life is getting better for people. It's not getting better fast enough. Bill and I are also impatient optimists. We want it to get better faster, and we see things we have in the U.S. that if brought in the right way to these countries, people will take them up and use them. So, but when I travel, even a place I've gone over and over and over again, this remote part of Tanzania, life is getting better. Farmers are hooked up to markets. They're selling more eggs. They're having more income. They're putting their kids in school. So it's not just palpable from the numbers. You have to look at the numbers to rely on the facts, but it's palpable when you're out on the ground. And I think sometimes we forget that in the myriad of issues that we face in our own lives in our country.